माननीय उपसभापति जी।
नमस्कार जी, नमस्कार जी, नमस्कार जी, नमस्कार जी, नमस्कार जी। Now, bills for introduction. The compulsory health insurance for senior citizens, mentally retarded children and disabled persons, Bill 2016. Sri Rajkumar Doot.
Sir.
Yes. You can move.
Sir, I beg to move for leave to introduce a bill to provide for the compulsory health insurance for the senior citizens, mentally retarded children and physically disabled persons to be funded by the government and for free of cost treatment of insured persons by all hospitals including private hospitals and clinics, and for matters connected therewith in incidental thereto. Sir, I introduce the bill.
Question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have it. You may now introduce the bill.
Sir, I introduce the bill.
Now, number 2, the Youth Eradication of Unemployment and Miscellaneous Provisions Bill 2016. Sri Rajkumar Doots.
Sir, I beg to move for leave to introduce a bill to provide for the eradication of unemployment amongst the youth by granting right to work to every eligible youth and for payment of unemployment allowance during the period of unemployment and for making all the sanctioned posts of government employment non-lapsable and free from abolition and establishment of right to work, fund for funding unemployment allowance and for matter connected herewith or incidental thereto.
The question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have it. You may now introduce the bill.
Sir, I introduce the bill.
The Water Conservation Authority of India Bill 2016. Sri Rajkumar Doots.
Sir, I beg to move for leave to introduce a bill to provide for the establishment of Water Conservation Authority for the conservation of water of the rivers, ground and rainwater through traditional means of ponds, wells, canals, trenches, and by building reservoir, bunds and checked dams, reviving dried rivers, making trenches in river beds, building recharge shafts, deepening and widening channels and ponds, building permanent water conservation structure by means of rainwater harvesting to recharge the groundwater, encouraging people to participate in the water conservation movement and plantation of trees in a big way and for the matters connected therewith in incidental thereto, sir.
The question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have it. You may now introduce the bill.
Sir, I introduce the bill.
The High Court's Use of Official Language Bill 2016. Sri Bhupendra Yadav.
श्रीमान, मैं उच्च न्यायालयों की कार्यवाहियों में राजभाषा का प्रयोग तथा तत्संसक्त और उसके अनुषंगिक विषयों का उपबंध करने के लिए एक विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति चाहता हूं।
Question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have it. You may now introduce the bill.
श्रीमान, मैं विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति चाहता हूं।
Now, Constitution Amendment Bill 2016, Amendment of Article 324. Sri Shandaram Nayak.
Sir, I move for leave to introduce a bill further to amend the Constitution of India.
The question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have it. You
I
may-
introduce the bill.
The National Waterways Amendment Bill 2016, Sri Shandaram Nayak.
I move for leave to introduce a bill to amend National Waterways Act 2016.
Question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have it. You
I
may.
introduce the bill.
The Constitution Amendment Bill 2016, Amendment of Article 51A, Sri Shandaram Nayak.
I move for leave to introduce a bill further to amend the Constitution of India.
The question is that leave be granted to introduce a bill. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. You may introduce.
Sir, I introduce the bill.
Now, Central Himalayan States Development Council Bill 2016, Sri Pradeep Tamta.
श्रीमद मैं केंद्रीय हिमालय क्षेत्र के अंतर्गत आने वाले पर्वतीय राज्यों के संतुलित एवं चौमुखी विकास हेतु विकास योजनाओं और स्कीमें तैयार करने तथा उनके क्रियान्वयन की निगरानी रखने के लिए केंद्रीय हिमालय राज्य परिषद नामक एक परिषद की स्थापना करने तथा तर्कसंगत और उसके आनुषंगिक विषयों को ओपन करने के लिए एक विधेयक पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति चाहता हूँ।
Question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Say aye.
Aye.
Somebody should say.
Aye.
Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Now you may introduce the bill.
सर मैं बिल पुनर्स्थापित करता हूँ।
Yeah. Now, the Voluntary Organization Regulation Bill 2016, Sri Pradeep Tamta.
सर मैं स्वैच्छिक संगठन की मान्यता और उनका विनियमन तर्कसंगत अथवा उनके आनुषंगिक विषयों का ओपन करने के लिए विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति चाहता हूँ।
The question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. You may introduce the bill.
सर मैं बिल को प्रस्तुत करने की अनुमति चाहता हूँ।
The Abolition of Capital Punishment Bill 2016, Sri Pradeep Tamta.
सर मैं भारत के मृत्युदंड का प्रोत्साहन करने के लिए एक विधेयक को स्थापित करने की अनुमति चाहता हूँ।
Question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. You may introduce the bill.
सर मैं बिल को इंट्रोड्यूस करने की अनुमति चाहता हूँ।
Now, next, the Children with Specific Learning Disabilities, Identification and Support in Education Bill 2016. Srimati Vandana Chavan. Nahi, not present. The All India Institute of Medical Science Amendment Bill 2016, Dr. Kanwar Deep Singh. Nahi. The Indian Penal Code Amendment Bill 2016, Sri Hussain Dalwai.
Sir, I move for leave to introduce a bill further to amend the Indian Penal Code 1860.
Now the question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it.
Sir, I introduce the bill.
Thank you. The Criminal Procedure Amendment Bill 2016, Sri Hussain Dalwai.
Sir, I move for leave to introduce a bill further to amend the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973.
Question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. You may introduce the bill.
Sir, I introduce the bill.
The Indian Evidence Amendment Bill 2016, Sri Hussain Dalwai.
Sir, I move for leave to introduce a bill further to amend the Indian Evidence Act 1872.
Question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. You may introduce it.
Sir, I introduce the bill.
The Surrogate Advertisements Prohibition Bill 2016, Dr. T. Subbarami Reddy.
Sir, I wish to move for leave to introduce a bill to prohibit surrogate advertisements and for matters connected therewith and incident thereto.
Question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Nobody saying. You want to say aye?
Nobody said no, nobody said yes, therefore yes.
No.
Maunu Angika.
So at least, I should hear at least one aye. Ah, okay. Yes,
I introduce the bill, sir.
yeah. No. I have not.
You have to ask me, yes.
Okay. The question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against will say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Now you introduce it.
I introduce the bill.
The Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Amendment Bill 2016, Dr. T. Subbarami Reddy.
So I rise to move to introduce the bill further to amend the Rights of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009.
Question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. You may introduce.
Yes, sir, I introduce the bill.
Constitution Amendment Bill 2016, Amendment of 10th Schedule, Sri Palwai Govinda Reddy.
Governor not available.
Govardhan Reddy is not available, he is absent. Now, Constitution Amendment Bill 2017, Amendment of Article 51A, Sri Prabhat Jha. Absent? Prabhat Jha absent. Constitution Amendment Bill 2017, insertion of new Article 121A and 211A. Dr. K.V.P. Ramachandra Rao.
Sir, I rise to move for leave to introduce a bill further to amend the Constitution of India.
Yes, the question is...
Sir, in view of the injustice that was done to the honourable member previously, have you made sure that this bill is not a money bill or not?
That is not a that is not a valid point of order. Sit down. The question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. You may introduce the bill.
Sir, I introduce the bill, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, we were considering the motion, bill, it is a bill, isn't it? That the bill, yes. That is, we were considering the bill by Sri Rajiv Chandrasekhar, isn't it? And Ananda Bhaskar Rapalu was speaking, isn't it? So you want to, your speech was over or you want to continue the speech?
I have to continue my speech.
Okay. Eh? Yeah. But remember, time allotted to the bill is 2 hours. Time taken 22 minutes. Time left is 1 hour. Okay. Your Andar Bhaskar Raplu, you can speak 10 minutes. Not, okay, take 10 minutes, not more than that. Take, okay.
Respected Deputy Chairman, I was in the midway of my speech while there was a break. Now, to continue my submission on the private bill moved by Sri Rajiv Chandrasekhar ji, to begin with, I pay homage to the Indian martyr Srinivas Kuchibotla, who sacrificed, who shed his blood on the American soil to highlight the gradually spreading hatred that could even take to the shape of terror. His bereaved wife, Sunaina Dumala, while grieving and crying, asked on the soil of America at Kansas that whether I belong to this land or not, that is America. It has sensated whole of the world, and the Kansas killing has drawn attention of the enlightened citizenry of globe to think about the humanity and the accommodativeness. Secondly, I take one another important mention and I salute Insha Mustaq, the native child of Sofian, just 70 kilometers away from Srinagar, 15-year-old girl studying 9th class, who got blinded with the unleash of the pellet guns 8 months ago in July 2016. She got completely blinded, Insha Mustaq. But the bravo, that child has turned up to her school at Sofian recently to pursue and continue her studies. Her new incapacity has given her challenge to think about, and she is ready to continue her studies of her latest blindness, and she is becoming another Malala Yousafzai. On this occasion, the submission for announcing from the Indian side the neighborhood as the terror sponsorer. How we are moving towards that? Recently, though we may not totally encourage and appreciate the approach of Donald Trump, the American president, but with his latest warning, what was happening on the other side of our borders, how they are tightening their own nuts and bolts, how they are looking at their own civil rights and human rights. Between people and people all along the world, there is no difference. We always strive for the equality and equity. We wish the inclusive globe. But at the same time, the increasing hatred is leading to terror, and the unmindful terrorism is creating such an havoc. But when the state, when the government itself encouraging and sponsoring the terror attacks and acts and running away from the opportunities without having the diplomatic decency, then the necessity of the diplomacy and the shrewdness of the diplomacy will get highlighted. In this context, from our Indian side, where exactly we stand, how attentive we are on our diplomatic mission, how we are having our bilateral relations, how we are positioning our own selves. Have we ever considered on the economic and trade front, first to give the sanction to make a nation any sort of enemy state? So far as our information and knowledge goes, Indian government is not at all having the assessment criteria to look in that angle, whether the already established trade pacts can be put to rest and made certain agreements to stand still and to announce any state as the enemy state, particularly on the economic and trade angle. Until and unless we focus on the trade and economic sanctions between the countries, the yield of any effort will be very meager. Those were the examples available all across among the globe. But my friend Raju Chandrasekhar is asking for declaration of the neighboring state, neighboring country, Pakistan, as the terror state, when our Indian government did not even have the basic formula to look at the economic and trade sanctions and to make certain pacts and acts and agreements stand still. Take the irrigation pacts or any other interdependent pacts. But when you are not ready to look at those things, straight away going for announcement of the terror state is going to be a bigger challenge. Between the people and people of this Indian subcontinent, we are having our own affinity. Yes, we are all having cultural, religious, and traditional affinities across the communities. At the same time,
Okay,
the
conclude.
state of Pakistan, the Pakistan government is always looking towards our country in a way which will create hurdles and hurt our
Okay.
expectations. But that country is being promoted by several other countries. When we look at the tightening of the environment linked with Pakistan and other nations which are promoting that Pakistan, the futile exercise to announce Pakistan as the terror state is not going to yield any result. But however, I understand and appreciate the concern of Rajiv Chandrasekhar about the importance to focus on the impending complications that are prevalent across the borders to harmonize and to attain the peace between the nations. This is the priority subject for the union
Okay.
government to look at the latest conditions and with the diplomatic shrewdness. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, Dr. Subramanian Swamy, not present. Sri KTS Tulsi.
Sir, I'm not opposed to the bill, but I'm a bit uncertain of its practical utility. So I want to place my doubts before the House that a bill which in essence seeks to declare the states which sponsor or support terrorist act directly or indirectly as terrorist state and withdraw economic trade sanctions with such nations. But I don't know whether this bill by itself can achieve
I didn't see it.
anything because the states always have the power to impose legal, economic or travel sanctions. Even without this bill, they have the executive authority, and if they think that that is in the national interest, it can always be done. It is, of course, well known that Pakistan does more to enable the terrorists than to fight them. The spy agency of Pakistan, ISI, has actively supported various militant groups in Kashmir. There are 3 such groups, Harkat-ul-Mujahideen, Lashkar-e-Toiba, and Jaish-e-Muhammad. The United States has already placed them and declared them to be terrorist organizations. And yet, Pakistan continues with its activities. We can't forget the attack on Indian Parliament on 13 December 2001, the twin car bombings in Dubai, and the Bombay attack on 26 November 2009, in which 160 people were killed. There have been enough provocations, but it was not considered necessary because mere declaration does not achieve anything. India took solid action in each of these. Whatever was necessary to be done was done. Now, in the wake of Uri, I believe this bill has been proposed. I really think that if the object is to increase international pressure and to unite in the fight against terror, if this bill is capable of doing anything in that direction, I would welcome that. But we have seen that various countries have taken action against Pakistan and curtailed or suspended economic and military aid to Pakistan, and yet terrorism continues to be sponsored by them. For instance, United States took direct action in the case of sanctuary given to Osama bin Laden. So it is an action that is required, and India has similarly taken adequate action, whatever was required. So I don't know whether mere declaration of a particular state, if it was being considered by a block of nations, it would be a different matter. But we ourselves say that this is we declare, these organizations are already declared terrorist organizations by the United States. So we need to consider as to what is going to be the practical utility of a bill like this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sri Javed Ali Khan.
माननीय उपसभापति जी, ये बिल पाकिस्तान को आतंकवाद प्रायोजक देश घोषित करने के उद्देश्य से जो हमारे माननीय सदस्य राजीव जी ने प्रस्तुत किया है, मैं इस बिल पर अपनी पार्टी की तरफ से राय रखने के लिए खड़ा हुआ हूं। ये बात सत्य है कि पाकिस्तान के साथ भारत के जो संबंध वर्तमान में हैं या अतीत में रहे हैं, उनमें पाकिस्तान की तरफ से लगातार ऐसी हरकतें होती हैं जिनसे वो संबंध प्रभावित होते हैं, और हमारी जो इच्छा पड़ोसी देशों के साथ अच्छे संबंध बनाने की है, उसमें अवरोध आता है। जहां तक आतंकवाद का सवाल है, इसमें भी कोई दो राय नहीं है कि भारत के अंदर अधिकांश आतंकवादी गतिविधियां पाकिस्तान की जमीन से संचालित होती हैं, उन संगठनों के द्वारा संचालित होती हैं जो पाकिस्तान में रह करके अपनी कार्रवाई को अंजाम देते हैं। लेकिन जब हम संसद में कोई कानून बनाते हैं, कोई एक्ट पास करते हैं, तो उसका प्रथम उद्देश्य ये होता है कि इससे हम कोई सफलता हासिल कर पाएंगे, अपने उद्देश्य को प्राप्त कर पाएंगे या नहीं। ये बिल जो माननीय सदस्य ने यहां प्रस्तुत किया है, अगर ये पास भी हो जाता है तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि भारत आतंकवाद को रोकने की दिशा में कोई कारगर कदम उठा पाएगा। हम जानते हैं कि पाकिस्तान की तरफ से जो गतिविधियां हो रही हैं, वो हमारे देश के विरोध में हैं, हमारे देश को विखंडित करने के लिए हैं। और हम अगर कोई कानून बना करके, सख्त कानून बना करके इस बात का ऐलान करते हैं, तो निश्चित रूप से हम इस बात पर अपनी सहमति व्यक्त करते हैं कि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर, संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ में या दुनिया का एक जनमत बनाने में हमारे कूटनीतिक प्रयास विफल हो गए हैं, और अब हम सारी उम्मीदें छोड़ चुके हैं, और इसलिए हम पाकिस्तान को अब आतंकवादी राष्ट्र घोषित करना चाहते हैं। इससे हमारा कोई मकसद पूरा नहीं हो सकता। हमारा मकसद जब पूरा होगा जब विश्व का जनमत पाकिस्तान को आतंकवादी गतिविधियां रोकने के लिए मजबूर करे। हम जानते हैं कि अकेले हमारे घोषित करने से कि पाकिस्तान एक आतंकवादी राष्ट्र है या आतंकवाद का प्रायोजक राष्ट्र है, मसला हल नहीं होता। हम तो कर देंगे, लेकिन दूसरे देश, क्या अमेरिका, जो आजकल जब से यूनिपोलर वर्ल्ड हुआ है, यहां से दूसरी शक्ति का संतुलन जब से खत्म हुआ है, तब से कोई भी अंतरराष्ट्रीय फैसला लेने के लिए, ऐसा फैसला लेने के लिए जिसका अंतरराष्ट्रीय प्रभाव होता है, अमेरिका की तरफ को सभी लोग नजर उठा करके देखते हैं। हम घोषित कर देंगे, लेकिन अमेरिका को क्या हम मजबूर कर पाएंगे कि वो पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ इस प्रकार की आर्थिक नाकेबंदी या उसे मजबूर करने के प्रयास करे जैसा हम करना चाहते हैं। अभी हाल ही के वर्षों में चीन के साथ भी हमारे बहुत मधुर संबंध हुए हैं। चीन का और पाकिस्तान का जो आज गठजोड़ हो रहा है इस क्षेत्र के अंदर, आज जो पाकिस्तान कुछ कर रहा है वो अकेले करने की स्थिति में नहीं है। पाकिस्तान के अंदर इतनी हिम्मत या इतना बूता नहीं है कि वो अकेले भारत के खिलाफ इस तरीके की घटनाओं को अंजाम दे सके। कहीं ना कहीं पाकिस्तान को चीन का मूक समर्थन प्राप्त है और कहीं ना कहीं पाकिस्तान के ऊपर अमेरिका का उसके सर पर हाथ है। तो हम लोगों को इस बात पर भी गौर करना पड़ेगा, क्या ऐसा विधेयक पास करने से, ऐसा कानून बनाने से हम अपने मकसद में सफल हो रहे हैं या नहीं हो रहे हैं। मुझे नहीं मालूम कि किसी राष्ट्र को आतंकवादी देश घोषित करने का कितने देशों ने ऐसा कर रखा है। मैंने जो जानकारी हासिल की उसके मुताबिक अमेरिका में तो ऐसा कानून है कि जिससे वो दूसरे देशों को आतंकवादी राष्ट्र घोषित करते हैं। उनके अनुभव से भी हमें कुछ सीखने की जरूरत है। आज तक उन्होंने कितने देशों को आतंकवादी राष्ट्र या आतंकवाद प्रायोजक राष्ट्र घोषित किया है? वर्तमान में तो 3 देश उनकी सूची में हैं, लेकिन उससे पहले उन्होंने क्यूबा को आतंकवादी राष्ट्र घोषित किया था, इराक को घोषित किया था, लीबिया, नॉर्थ कोरिया और साउथ यमन को भी घोषित किया था। क्यूबा को जब उन्होंने आतंकवादी राष्ट्र घोषित किया, उसके बावजूद दुनिया के अनेक देश, बल्कि मैं कहूंगा कि विश्व का विशाल जनमत क्यूबा के साथ खड़ा हुआ था। क्यूबा के सवाल पर, क्यूबा को आइसोलेट करने की बजाय क्यूबा के सवाल पर अमेरिका खुद आइसोलेट हुआ था विश्व जनमत की नजर में। अमेरिका को क्यूबा की आर्थिक नाकेबंदी करके कोई लाभ हासिल नहीं हुआ। क्यूबा का भले ही थोड़ा बहुत नुकसान हो गया हो, बल्कि मैं तो यहां तक जानता हूं कि आतंकवादी राष्ट्र घोषित करने के बाद क्यूबा के खिलाफ जब उन्होंने आर्थिक नाकेबंदी लगाई तो दुनिया के बहुत से देशों ने उसको समर्थन दिया और उसके यहां आर्थिक नाकेबंदी के जो दुष्प्रभाव पड़ रहे थे उसके खिलाफ भी खड़े हुए। हमारे भारत से ही बहुत सारे राजनीतिक दलों ने, गैर सरकारी संगठनों ने और राज्य सरकारों ने भी जहाज के जहाज रसद के रूप में, 1 मिनट और लूंगा, वहां पर भेजे थे। तो हमको यह देखना जरूरी है कि अगर हम किसी देश को आतंकवादी राष्ट्र घोषित करते हैं तो उसमें हमारा कोई उद्देश्य सफल हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा। दूसरी बात मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि आज अकेला पाकिस्तान नहीं है, अकेला पाकिस्तान नहीं है जो आतंकवादी गतिविधियों को अपनी जमीन से संचालित करने की इजाजत देता है। इस दुनिया के अंदर एक देश है जिसका नाम है इजराइल। इजराइल आज दुनिया में, खासतौर से पश्चिम एशिया में, मध्य एशिया में आज आतंकवाद का पूरा वो वहां पर भंडार बना हुआ है। जितने भी देशों की सीमाएं इजराइल से लगती हैं।
कंक्लूड प्लीज कंक्लूड।
सर, वी आर तीसरे नंबर की पार्टी है,
इसलिए
थोड़ा सा हमको टाइम
कंक्लूड कीजिए। आप कंक्लूड कीजिए।
इतनी हमारी उपेक्षा मत किया कीजिए सर, हम तीसरे नंबर की पार्टी हैं। इतनी उपेक्षा हमारी मत।
अरे आपका पूरा 9 मिनट गए और एक आदमी बोलने के लिए गए, आप 7 मिनट ले चुका है, बाकी 2 मिनट गए।
तो 2 मिनट
से अमर सिंह नाम दिया है।
आप 2 मिनट से पहले ही मुझे जो,
अरे आपका टाइम,
5 ही मिनट
अरे
आपका शुरू कर दिया आपने मुझको।
अरे आपका पूरा,
मैं कोई,
अरे सुनिए, क्यों, why do you argue with me?
मैंने तो देखा,
no, listen, no, it is not fair. No,
प्लीज, मैं तो कभी-कभी बोलता हूं।
No, this is not fair.
अभी 2 मिनट तो बाकी है ना मेरे।
No, this kind of argument with the chair is not acceptable. No, listen, you understand. Your party has 9 minutes total. There are 2 speakers. How much you can get? 5 minutes.
Sir, my party has given only one name.
No, one more I have got.
My party leader has given only
Amar
one
Singh
name.
is not your party.
My party leader has given only one name.
You not in the SP.
Sir,
I'm sorry.
when I argument with
Okay.
argue with chair,
All right. Then you
say
take 2
should-
more minutes. All right, take 2 more
मैं ये
minutes.
कहना चाहता हूं सर
2 more minutes.
कि इजराइल भी एक ऐसा देश है, जब हम कोई कानून बना रहे हैं,
Then you cannot get it already.
जब हम कोई पोजीशन ले रहे हैं एक ऐसे सवाल पर जिस पर पूरी दुनिया का ध्यान जाएगा, तो उसमें हमें बहुत संकीर्ण होकर के अपना स्टैंड डिक्लेयर नहीं करना चाहिए। भारत का जहां तक सवाल है वो जरूरी है, लेकिन भारत का ताल्लुक दुनिया के बहुत सारे देशों से रहा है और हमारे दोस्ताना संबंध हैं। अगर हमारे दोस्त और हमारे मित्र देश किसी दूसरे देश के जो आतंकवाद की घटनाओं को प्रायोजित कर रहा है उससे आतंकित हैं या परेशान हैं, तो उसका भी गौर हमको करना चाहिए। इसलिए मैं चाहूंगा कि राजीव चंद्रशेखर जी का ये बिल अगर पास होता है इस सदन के द्वारा और हमारे पूरे संसद के द्वारा, तो जिस अनुसूची में आपने पाकिस्तान का नाम लिखा है उस अनुसूची में मेहरबानी करके इजराइल का नाम भी लिखा जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो आतंकवाद को जन्म देने वाला देश है। आखिरी बात, चूंकि आप समय कम आपने दिया है और जो दिया है उसमें भी आपको मेरे बोलने से बहुत सुखद स्थिति आपको नहीं लग रही है, इसलिए मैं अपनी बात ये खत्म करना चाहूंगा कि इस बिल को पास करने से हमारा क्या फायदा होगा, क्या नुकसान होगा। आज इसी संसद के अंदर एक हम दूसरे बिल पर चर्चा कर रहे हैं, उसकी प्रक्रिया जारी है। सिटीजनशिप अमेंडमेंट एक्ट हमारे दोनों सदनों की जॉइंट सिलेक्ट कमेटी के तहत वो जेरे गौर है। उसमें क्या स्थिति है कि हम मानते हैं पाकिस्तान के अंदर धार्मिक आधार पर उत्पीड़न होता है, लोगों के साथ ज्यादती होती है, तो पाकिस्तान के जो लोग वहां धार्मिक उत्पीड़न का शिकार हैं वो भारत में आए और उनकी नागरिकता देने में हम शर्तों को सरल करें। जब हम एक देश को आतंकवादी घोषित कर देंगे, जैसा इसके उद्देश्य में लिखा हुआ है कि वहां के नागरिक यहां की यात्रा तक नहीं कर पाएंगे और बल्कि हमारे देश के ऊपर से वो उड़ भी नहीं पाएंगे, तो ऐसी स्थिति में हम उन लोगों के साथ भी अन्याय करेंगे। लिहाजा मैं ये चाहता हूं कि उस बात पर भी हमें गौर करना चाहिए जो हमारे देश के विद्वानों ने और हमारे देश के जो हमारे पूर्व नेता रहे हैं उन्होंने कही थी। हम दुनिया से कैसे संबंध बनाना चाहते हैं और खास तौर से अपने पड़ोसी देशों के साथ कैसा संबंध बनाना चाहते हैं। डॉक्टर राम मनोहर लोहिया की बहुत मशहूर एक थ्योरी है कि हम भारत पाकिस्तान का महासंघ बनाना चाहते हैं, और जब बांग्लादेश बन गया तो इस देश के समाजवादियों ने इस बात को आगे बढ़ाया कि हम भारत पाकिस्तान और बांग्लादेश का महासंघ बना करके इस क्षेत्र को स्थायी शांति दे सकते हैं। और इस बात को मैं ही नहीं, आज हमारी जो सरकार है भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार, इसके जो वरिष्ठ नेता हैं आज मार्गदर्शक मंडल में हैं। मुझे याद है जब मैं राजनीति में कार्य करता था और शुरुआती दौर में छात्र जीवन में था, उस वक्त लाल कृष्ण अडवाणी जी ने भी इस बात की पैरोकारी की थी कि भारत पाकिस्तान और बांग्लादेश का महासंघ बनना चाहिए। ये एक धारणा रही है जनमत की कि भारत और पाकिस्तान के संबंध अच्छे होने चाहिए और हमारा एक ऐसा गठजोड़ बनना चाहिए जो एशिया में नहीं बल्कि दुनिया में अपनी शांति, अपनी तरफ से शांति का प्रस्ताव दे सके। तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा राजीव जी, आपका बिल, जहां तक इसका सवाल है, बिल उसकी भावना बहुत अच्छी है कि आतंकवाद के खिलाफ लड़ाई होनी चाहिए, लेकिन इस तरीके के बिल का कोई लाभ मुझे नहीं लग रहा है जब तक सरकार की इच्छा शक्ति न हो। पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ कार्रवाई करने से सरकार को किसी ने रोका नहीं।
Deputy Chairman, sir.
Yeah. Practically, how much time? 2-3 minutes you take?
Sir, please give me 7 minutes time. 7 minutes time, sir. I will not ask for more than that.
No. You can take 3 minutes.
Sir, 5 minutes at least, sir. I will quickly conclude. Sir.
Okay, all right. Take 5 minutes, all right.
Sir, the bill as introduced by Rajiv Chandrasekhar ji, as I have understood, is applicable to those countries which sponsor terrorism, should be declared as terrorist countries. This is the sum and substance of the bill. I am only suggesting the government and also trying to find out whether this bill is intra-virus of the Constitution of India or not. If it is going to violate the charter, UN charter, or UN conventions, probably it will be ultra-virus of the Constitution. Therefore, I request the government of India to look into that aspect. However, I may be permitted to highlight both positive aspects and negative aspects of the bill so that the government of India will take care of these issues. In fact, YSR Congress Party, on behalf of our President YS Jagan Mohan Reddy Garu, we support this bill. However, I would like to pinpoint certain issues which may go against the government of India in case if this bill is enacted, so that those issues can be taken care of, sir. So kindly give me 5 minutes from now onwards, sir. So
After
this is
5
only an
minutes also you will say like
this is only an introduction, sir. Sir, since 1994, till now it is about 22 years. So far, in these 22 years, approximately about 25,000 civilians and about 10,000 security personnel have been killed because of the Pak-sponsored terrorism in India. It is a fact. Further, approximately about 78,000 square kilometers of our own Indian land is in the illegal occupation of Pakistan as Pak-occupied Kashmir. Further, sir, in Pakistan, leave about India, sir, in Pakistan, the religious minorities such as Hindus, Christians, Shias, Ahmadiyas and Islamiyas, various religious minority communities, even today are being targeted, being persecuted and subject to so much of targeted attacks. Therefore, there is it is an undeniable fact that Pakistan is a sponsor of terrorism, and therefore it has to be taught a lesson. But how? It has to be in a legal framework, and it should stand for judicial scrutiny. That's what my point is, sir. In fact, the fact that it is a terrorist sponsor state can be substantiated with reference to some more facts also, sir. In 19th Asian Security Conference, which has been held at the Institute of Defense Studies, the National Security Advisor of Pakistan, earlier former National Security Advisor of Pakistan, General Mahmood Ali Durrani, himself has admitted that 2611 terror attacks in India in Mumbai have been orchestrated by Pakistan. So, see, in that attack, it is a reminder to us, we can remember that 166 people have been killed, including some of the foreigners. See, when Pakistan government itself has accepted that it is sponsoring terrorism in India, what more evidence is required? That itself is an evidence, sir. And sir, one more point is, Pakistan has got a dual policy insofar as terrorism is concerned. See, according to Pakistan dictionary, there are two definitions. One is bad terrorist and another is good terrorist. Who are bad terrorists? Bad terrorists, according to Pakistan, are the terrorists who attack Pakistan military installations and Pakistan civilians and Pakistan police. Good terrorists, according to the Pakistan dictionary, are the terrorists who attack Indian police, Indian military and Indian establishment. This is the dual policy which is being adopted by the Pakistan government, sir, so far as the terrorism is concerned. Sir, I would like to bring to the notice of this August House one important issue, whether it amounts to violation of Vienna Convention, the rules that have been framed under Vienna Convention or not. I draw your kind attention to Article 62 of the Vienna Convention, which state that the fundamental change of circumstances, how the Pakistan can be declared as a terrorist state, I am only referring to Article 62, sir. See, according to Article 62, a fundamental change of circumstances, that is very important, sir. Wherever there is a fundamental change of circumstances which occurred with regard to those existing at the time of conclusion of the treaty may be invoked as a ground for terminating or withdrawing the treaty. Therefore, what I am trying to say, sir, even though there is a Vienna Convention and we are also party to that, still it is very much justified and within our fundamental right that because there is a change in the fundamental change of circumstances, as per the article of Vienna Convention, it is very much justified that we can withdraw economic and trade relations with Pakistan. Okay. Therefore, sir, few more minutes, sir. please, I may be permitted, because this very important issue which I really would like to put forth to your good self, sir. Sir, let us see the international perception of Pakistan in so far as terrorist state is concerned. Sir, in September 2016, US House of Representatives, where the congressman by name Ted Poe has introduced a bill Pakistan State Sponsor of Terrorism Designation Act, HR 6069. So US also has confirmed. This means that US also has confirmed. In fact, he is a chairman of the Committee for Terrorism, sir. US itself has recognized that Pakistan is sponsoring the terrorism. This is an indication, sir. Secondly, in December 2016, the Afghanistan President of Afghanistan has confirmed that has accused Pakistan of waging an undeclared war against Afghanistan, and he further confirmed that Taliban insurgents battling against his own government may not last long without sanctuary of Pakistan government. Therefore, it is not only against India, but also against the Afghanistan and other countries also. Pakistan is waging an undeclared war and also encouraging the terrorism, sir. Sir, finally, one more point, sir. Please give me one more minute, sir. Sir, whether the lenient attitude of India towards the Pakistan is really yielding any result or not. This is the point, sir. According to me, it is not yielding any positive result. In fact, the Honorable Prime Minister, late Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji, in the case of Indus Water Treaty, has clearly stated that he is giving the concession, he is giving 80% of the water to Pakistan so far as the tributaries to Indus River, Jhelum and Chenab is concerned, 80% of the water is given to Pakistan. See, this is what, see, that is the gesture, goodwill gesture what he has given. Whether Pakistan is really responding and reciprocating positively in so far as goodwill gestures that India is sending, sir. In fact, no. So I can say, even our own Prime Minister.
All right.
Sir, please,
You
please.
took 8 minutes. One more
minute.
No.
Sir, let me conclude.
Please conclude.
I'll go for
8 minutes.
I'll go for conclusion.
In place of 2 minutes, you took 8 minutes.
Sir, I'll conclude it, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, finally.
You are due only 2 minutes.
Sir, I have left out all the points and then finally
that's enough.
coming to
That's enough.
final conclusion, sir.
You cannot
Sir,
monopolize
Pakistan.
everything.
Sir, in Pakistan, I'll finally conclude, sir. In Pakistan, after independence, post-independence, almost about 30 years it is under military rule. Even if civilian government wants to cooperate with the Indian government, still military of Pakistan will not allow civilian government of Pakistan to cooperate with India, sir. And thirdly, sir, India should enhance what, according to me, India should enhance, because in the light of these circumstances, India should enhance the people-to-people contact and use the soft power. And
enough.
Further, sir,
Sri Abhishek Manu Singhvi.
Sir, one more.
All right, you have taken 9 minutes
Sir,
out in place of 2 minutes.
Sir, even today,
Okay,
68% of the people of Pakistan want a good relationship with India. Therefore,
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
sir.
Okay,
Thank you very much, sir.
Sri Abhishek Singh Manu. Abhishek Manu Singh.
Sir, learned
Singh, yeah.
members, let me start by commending the propounder of this bill, Mr. Rajya Chandrasekhar, our colleague. I think his zeal, his good intentions, his research is not in doubt. His bona fides is not in doubt. And although I'm going to show how the bill does not really achieve any objective and suggest some changes, I think the fact that he has generated a great awareness on this subject in a very short while is highly commendable. Sir, the issue is not whether Pakistan terrorizes India. The issue is not how many people and how many lives we have lost. The issue is not that the international perception clearly is that Pakistan is a huge exporter of terrorism. The issue is not that Pakistan plays multiple hypocrisies and has many standards in dealing with terrorism. I think all that is a given, and all that there would not be perhaps a single member of this or the other august house to oppose it. So I think as far as the sentiment is concerned, the whole of this house would fully support the fact that Pakistan deserves to be treated as a terror exporting state, and in particular with respect to India. The real question, however, is none of these. The real question is, A, does this bill add any value? And with the best of intentions, value may not be added. So why does it not add value? We can all, and we have already declared, we've had parliamentary resolutions and parliamentary declarations, and perhaps we should have another one saying exactly what Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar's bill propounds. We can have a parliamentary resolution in 2 minutes saying Pakistan is a terrorist exporting nation and is a terrorizer of India. But there is a difference between a resolution or a declaration and an act of parliament or a bill of parliament. A bill must have some teeth. It must give some actionable points by which the government is bound. It must be the law of the land. Now this bill, the heart of this bill is section or clause 3. Clause 3 gives some 7, 8 penal kind of actions. It permits travel and visa restrictions. It permits trading restrictions, receiving and grant of remittances, manufacturing, maritime fishing, trading, overflight restrictions, credit transfers, and so on and so forth. Very comprehensive list. The question is, each one of them, as has just been mentioned, each one of them can be done by a simple notification by the Government of India, requiring no parliamentary enactment, requiring nothing more. In the trading, in the fiscal field, there are all statutes which permit the notification. Even today, as we sit here, we can ban any travel or restrict any visa. So, therefore, clearly with the best of intentions, Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar needs to go back to the drawing board and use his very, very impressive intellect and vast resources to come up with a better model. Now, let me suggest a better model. And I'm saying it only constructively. I'm sure he'll be able to do it much better. If you accept that a bill or an act of parliament must have a binding nature, must have teeth, then how do you punish? The whole object of Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar is to, in some sense, punish Pakistan when it does all this. Well, I suggest that merely saying that the Government of India may do it is not enough. You need to create a calibrated hierarchy of both events and punishments. Let me explain what I mean very, very briefly, and I'll finish in a couple of minutes. In the event that Pakistan is found in a particular event in India, Uri or anywhere else, to have a hand on the basis of Government of India inquiry within a short period, that's offence number 1. In the event that Pakistan is found after another 3 months to have done a second event, that's offence number 2, and so on and so forth. The bill should say, a future proposed better improved bill by Mr. Chandrasekhar should say that the moment the Government of India comes to a finding that there have been 3 events of this kind or 2 events of this kind which are based on Government of India reports or inquiries, then the first of a calibrated list of consequences must follow, not may follow. It's not an act of parliament if the government has an option. The government already has an option in all these acts to have a notification issue. It must follow. Now, what is that calibrated list of penalties? And I'm not saying this is the right way, I'm saying these are only suggestions. The first could be a official government warning that under this act of parliament, having found offence 1, 2 and 3, the first is a warning. Then, having found a 4th offence, the next is that we must exercise the right of curtailing travel or curtailing visas for a particular segment, which hurts Pakistan, but at a lower level. If it continues as a habitual offender, then the third can be, for example, purely by way of example, a fishing restriction. Or a 4th can be a trade restriction in a particular commodity which hurts Pakistan more than the first 3. It is this kind of a calibrated, specific list of penal consequences, in turn based on multiple findings of repeat offences recorded by the Government of India, which alone will make this from a mere declaration of intent into an act of parliament, if ever it becomes an act of parliament. Obviously, that is what is the intention, and I think it will have the entire might of the sovereign state of India, it will have the entire might of the Parliament of India, and since it is based on government findings and inquiries which show Pakistan with a hand here killing 10 people, with a hand there killing 20 people, with a hand there hurting so and so, in that case the government is bound by its own conclusions, and therefore necessary consequences in a calibrated manner must follow. I am sure you can leave a little bit of play in the joints, I am sure you can leave a little bit of flexibility, but that is the kind of model we must all collectively work together, and indeed it will be a unique model. It will be a model, as far as I know, not available in most other countries. US is a wrong example because US has so much of financial assistance, so much of trading of a different kind, that it simply declares somebody a terrorist state and stops that funding, stops that trading. India doesn't necessarily have that financial assistance power. So our act must be differently styled, and I think it will be the first of its kind, and I'm sure that in the near future, Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar will be the author of a better and a more efficacious bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shanghviji. Now, Dr. Subramanian Swamy.
How much time I have, sir? Mr. Chairman? 15
Well,
minutes. 15 minutes. The entire...
Take 10 minutes.
All right, 10 minutes. Mr. Deputy Chairman, first of all, I think this whole House, the sentiment seems to be to compliment Mr. Chandrasekhar for thinking of this, articulating it, and producing a bill. The best way to understand the bill is to read the objects and reasons, and that's on page 6 of his bill, where, of course, the object is to declare Pakistan as a terror, promoting or sponsoring state. But the 4 reasons he has given of how disappointed we are with what Pakistan is doing, because my predecessor speaker spoke about calibrating. I wonder whether we are long past that time. When partition was created, the hope was that Pakistan, the elements who constituted Pakistan, the leadership, they would work for peace with India now that they have got a separate country. That didn't happen. In fact, I say that if you read the Indian Independence Act debate of the British Parliament, which created Pakistan, they said, the speakers after speakers said in that debate, and this was endorsed by the government, then British government, that the aim is to create a Muslim-governed Pakistan and a Hindu-governed India, which led Ambedkar to say, let us have a population exchange. But all of us, most of India, particularly the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, it was felt that would be wrong and that we should continue with the experiment of trying to live in peace with all communities. But over a period of time, we have found this has become increasingly difficult. In 1971, we were compelled to break Pakistan into 2 because of the fact that the heavy burden was imposed on us because of the internal conflict. So question now will become, how do we deal with this question of Pakistan now? We have tried during the 10 years of UPA, all this calibration, all we got is more terrorist attacks. Some relief has come after the surgical strike by our government, but that's not enough. We need a much more macro surgical strike for that which we have to prepare. Today, in fact, yesterday, Mr. Chandrasekhar just informed me and he showed me the publication. The United States Senate is, one of the senators introduced a bill to declare Pakistan as a terror sponsor state. It's not only we who think it is. The biggest patron of Pakistan today thinks there are people who are lawmakers there who think that is so. And with now Mr. Trump becoming president, it's just possible that they will all go in that direction. We are the ones who are the affected people. How many incidents have taken place? So what is the answer? Each time you can't say peace, peace, peace. There has to be at some stage a retaliation. And the first retaliation, in my opinion, would be if the government is ready to do it by executive action, as Mr. Tulsi had suggested, or by seeing the sentiment in this House, accept this bill or say that we will come forth with our own bill in this matter or a statement in the House. I would like to say that one of the greatest tributes to India's what they call as compositive culture is that the founder of Pakistan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he had only one daughter. She chose to live in India. She made a public statement disowning Pakistan. And her only son today is one of our prominent industrialists. So this itself is something that we have not publicized, but it's something that bothers Pakistan, which keeps referring to it time and again. This shows that ultimately the civilian society in Pakistan may be for India. But the fact is that the civilian society doesn't run Pakistan. There may be an election and there may be an elected government. But ultimately it is the military, the ISI and the terrorists. And today, with ISIS coming into on its own as an identity, there is a vast influx of ISIS people into Pakistan. And that is spilling over into India today. We saw that in Lucknow, we saw that in Bhopal, we are seeing this in Kerala, we are seeing it in Ramanathapuram and Tamil Nadu. And ISIS is very clear that India has to be converted into a caliphate, whether they succeed or not, but they are going to try. And therefore, you have to prepare for it. We may again be forced to intervene in Pakistan's structure, like we did in the time of Bangladesh. There are people, there are states within Pakistan who don't want to remain anymore with Pakistan, like Baluchistan. There are movements in Sindh. It may be one of these days, it might become necessary for us to enforce, like we did in the case of Bangladesh, Pakistan into 4 separate countries. So to reduce the hotbed, the basis for Pakistan terrorism, namely what is now called as Punjab in Pakistan. So it is no more now question of debating and looking for conciliatory approaches. We have tried everything. Today we have nothing but to take action. And what kind of action? The first signal that will be is if the United States is doing this, we can coordinate with the United States. Of course, the Israelis are very good friends despite some ideological problems of the people on that side. But the fact is that they have been supportive of us. They have been helping us against fighting against terrorism. So United States, Israel and India become natural partners in dealing with this terrorism. And therefore, I would say, very strongly recommend our government that on the basis of what the facts assembled by Mr. Chandrasekhar, let us move forward, declare Pakistan as a terror-sponsoring state, and remove the most favored nation clause that we have given them for trading. Today, Pakistan cement comes here at a price lower than our own cement manufacturers. They are dumping cement here. There are so much trade where they are benefiting by it. This money then ultimately gets funneled into the military and from there to terrorism. So it is about time for us to stop talking in terms of all this goody-goody stuff, having their cinema stars come here, playing cricket. These are all over. They are not going to produce results. They just make a mockery. They make fun of us on this issue. What we need to do is take a hard look at Pakistan and see whether this state deserves to exist in this present form. And for that, the first step will be declaring it as a terror sponsoring state. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Subramanian Swamiji. Thank you. Now, Sri Mahesh Pudar is there? Sri Mahesh Pudar, oh, okay, all right.
उपसभापति जी, आज इस सदन में माननीय गृह मंत्री जी ने लखनऊ की घटना के संबंध में 2 बातें कही। एक तो आतंकवाद के बारे में उन्होंने बात कही और दूसरा उसके परिवार के, उनके आतंकवादी के पिताजी की बात कही कि कैसे उन्होंने इस अपने पुत्र को डिसओन किया। ये महोदय, आज एक भारत में जो नई सोच हो रही है, और जो पाकिस्तान के प्रति, आतंकवाद के प्रति एक नई भावना जागृत कर रही है, माननीय राजीव जी का ये प्रस्ताव भी इसी नई सोच की एक उपज है। महोदय, आजादी के पहले हम एक थे, बांटो और राज करो के तहत हम बट गए, धर्म के नाम पर देश को बांटने का आधार बनाया गया, लेकिन उस बंटवारे के बाद लाखों लोग आज भी भारत में ऐसे हैं जिनके जख्म भर नहीं पा रहे। कहते हैं कि टाइम हील्स, समय के साथ साथ ये भर जाना चाहिए था, लेकिन भरता नहीं। जब भरने की प्रक्रिया शुरू होती है तो उसे बीच बीच में कुरेद दिया जाता है। और आई एम सॉरी सर, घाव भरने नहीं दिया जा रहा। जब भी भरने की स्थिति कुछ आती है तो उसे कुरेद दिया जाता है। सामान्य तौर पे कई पीढ़ियां गुजर गई और अब तक ये हमारे संबंध, हमारे घाव भर जाने चाहिए थे, लेकिन भर नहीं रहा। और हमारा कसूर क्या है, यह भी आज तक कोई स्पष्ट नहीं बोल पा रहा। उन्होंने धर्म के आधार पर पाकिस्तान तो बनाया, हम राजी भी हुए, लेकिन वो अपने देश को एक न रख पाए, इसमें हमारा क्या कसूर। हमारे हजारों जवान इस प्रक्रिया में शहीद हो गए, हमारे सामान्य नागरिक भी आतंकवाद की भेंट चढ़ रहे हैं, लेकिन अरबों रुपए खर्च भी हो रहे हैं, लेकिन ये आखिर कब तक हम अपने गरीबों की रोटी छीन करके इनके ऊपर खर्च करते रहेंगे। इस बीच में हमने क्या क्या पहल नहीं की, हमने हर कुछ किया। जीती हुई जंग में कैदी सिपाहियों को मेहमान की तरह रखा, उन्हें वापस किया सम्मान के साथ। हमने यह भी सार्वजनिक रूप से हमारे नेतृत्व ने कहा कि दोस्त बदले जा सकते हैं, पड़ोसी नहीं। हमारे हर शासन ने दोस्ती का हाथ बढ़ाया और उन्होंने देश के अंदर विभिन्न मतों को, पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ जो मत थे उनको नजरअंदाज भी किया, लेकिन आलोचना भी झेली, लेकिन ढाक के वही 3 बात। महोदय, बहुत हो गया। हमारे गृह मंत्री जी को अब कहना पड़ रहा है अपने सिपाहियों को कि पहल मत करो, लेकिन सीमा पार से गोली आए तो जवाब में कितनी गोली दागोगे उसकी गिनती की कोई जरूरत नहीं। ये ऐसी परिस्थिति हो गई है। महोदय, यह बिल भारत के आम आदमी की भावना को दर्शाता है। वह थक गया है अपना पड़ोसी धर्म निभाते निभाते। हमने कई युद्ध झेले, सांसद पर हमला झेला, 26/11 को मुंबई का हमला झेला, कई तरह के आतंकवाद को झेला और झेल भी रहे। घर के अंदर भी अब आतंकवाद पैर फैला रहे हैं, फिर भी यह प्रस्ताव युद्ध की बात नहीं कर हम उनसे अपनी दूरी बढ़ाने की बात कर रहे हैं। सिर्फ बिगड़े रिश्तों को हम औपचारिक रूप से भी बिगड़ा मानने की औपचारिकता पूरी कर रहे हैं। अतः सदन पे इस पे गहन चर्चा होनी चाहिए। समय आ गया है कि जब हम वी कॉल ए स्पेड। जो हमारे खिलाफ है हम भी उनके खिलाफ हैं, जो हमारे खिलाफ है हम भी उनके खिलाफ हैं। यह संदेश इस बिल के माध्यम से साफ हो जाएगा, शक की कोई गुंजाइश नहीं होगी। महोदय, हम गुजारा कर लेंगे, जैसा माननीय हमारे साथी ने कहा, सीमेंट हम पाकिस्तान से नहीं मंगा करके फिर भी हम गुजारा कर लेंगे, लेकिन हम आवाजाही को नियंत्रण में कर लेंगे, सब कुछ कर लेंगे, सब कुछ देख लिया, लेकिन उसके बाद भी यदि हम इस तरह की ढीली व्यवस्था रखेंगे तो वो उचित नहीं होगा। सभापति जी, राजीव जी के इस प्रस्ताव से लोग असहमत हो सकते हैं, पर इसे हम गलत नहीं कह सकते। यह एक स्वाभिमानी देशभक्त की प्रतिक्रिया है और आशा है सदन इसका सम्मान करेगा, पर संभवतः इसके बिल के बारे और इसके सारे प्रावधानों को सरकार संज्ञान में लेगी और उपयुक्त कार्यवाही करेगी, जिसके लिए शायद अभी कानून बनाने का वक्त नहीं आया है, लेकिन हाँ, कुछ न कुछ आवश्यकता है निर्णय लेने का और कुछ न कुछ करते रहने का और करने का। धन्यवाद।
Now Sri Shobhandas Gupta is there, but united group has no time but take 3 minutes. Eh? No time left for you but take 3 minutes.
Okay, whatever time you...
Eh? No, we have to discuss. No, that
So,
we can
okay,
speak
whatever
later.
time, so whatever time you give me, I'm
Yeah.
glad because I gave notice at a very late stage.
Yeah, okay.
I want to join the other members here who've complimented Sri Rajiv Chandrasekhar for his erudition, for his scholarly application, and for producing a wonderful document. However, I will desist from adding the word "but" to his wonderful bill. Because unlike a lot of others, I don't necessarily see that the nuanced and calibrated approach which we often find the Foreign Office communiques mentioning necessarily a very good thing. I often wonder whether it is time we should say certain things quite openly and explicitly. It is not necessary for us to go through the rigors of trying to show who is a bad boy. First bad mark, second bad mark, and the fourth bad mark he's expelled. It's not necessary, sir. I think by now everybody knows what Pakistan is. Unfortunately for us, we seem to be under a degree of squeamishness about how we can approach this problem. It has been contended that a bill of this nature, while wonderful in sentiment, does nothing specific. I think it does. I'll tell you, sir, in my view, which may be a little different from that of Rajiv Chandrasekhar, who's proposed the bill, the first important point is, I think, that it creates a safeguard against what I would call the Wagah spirit. Those who believe that every bomb blast, every act of terrorism, every attack on an army camp should be responded by going with a candle to Wagah. By saying, ye aman ki asha, let's have more samjhauta, etc. It sets an institutional deterrent to the type of activities we saw in Sharm el-Sheikh, where we equated their terrorism with our terrorism. A moral equivalence was established. A bill of this nature puts a natural safeguard to say that terrorism directed against India will not be tolerated. If today it is Pakistan, tomorrow it could be some other country. But I think once that mechanism is in place, we know the limits of which the foreign policy establishment can go and not go. It's very, very important in that respect. Secondly, sir, it has been contended that what is really our power? The United States is a big country, etc., and they can do this, so they can have bills and legislation against terrorism. We are just an insignificant. The moment we start thinking of ourselves as merely, to use Krishna Menon's phrase, the quality in world affairs rather than a power in world affairs, we fall into this trap. Because it is about time that India, as a rising economic power, must have a foreign policy which is commensurate with that. We cannot have a foreign policy which is really one of arm twisting, arm rigging, while economically we are better off. There must be a level of parity. And that level of parity, sir, one of the things is the protection of India's natural sovereignty. And Pakistan, sir, it's not merely a question of territorial disputes. Territorial disputes we can have with a lot of people. That's part of the game. In Pakistan, they have gone one step further. And I think it is that subversion, whether it's in the form of fake currency notes, which is one of the major reasons for the demonetization program, whether it's subversion in other ways, we cannot always respond to it by saying, you know, we are really estranged brothers. Yes, we were estranged brothers at one time. But after 70 years, when someone thinks of you as an enemy and someone thinks of you as separate, to use that thing, oh, we were once linked by the same bloodline, is no longer a valid proposition. So, sir, it is to first create the environment whereby foreign policy is not based on individual flights of whimsy and more based on certain institutional checks.
Okay.
That is the reason I would like to support this bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Sri Amar Singh, you want to speak? Take 3 minutes.
More than माननीय उपाध्यक्ष महोदय, सबसे पहले मैं श्री राजीव चंद्रशेखर को बड़ी बधाई देना चाहूँगा कि उन्होंने इस बिल को प्रस्तावित किया है। आपको भी धन्यवाद कि बहुत अल्प समय में नोटिस देने के बावजूद आपने बोलने का अवसर दिया है। ये ठीक है कि विश्व छोटा हो गया है और विश्व में हर स्थान से हम जुड़ गए, लेकिन प्रासंगिकता जिस बात की है कि हमें क्या चीज़ तंग करती है। अभी वक्ताओं ने, किसी ने वियना का जिक्र किया, किसी ने इजराइल का किया, किसी ने क्यूबा का किया, लेकिन इजराइल में क्या हो रहा है, क्यूबा में क्या हो रहा है, वियना में क्या हुआ, उससे ज़्यादा ये भी सच है कि हम
अपना मित्र बदल सकते हैं लेकिन अपना पड़ोसी नहीं बदल सकते। लेकिन ये भी उतना ही बड़ा कड़वा सच है कि अगर पड़ोसी नहीं सुधर सकता इतने दिनों बाद, तो हमको सिवाय इस बात के कि कर्म करोगे कर्म करेंगे, सितम करोगे सितम करेंगे, जो तुम करोगे वो हम करेंगे, इसके अलावा और कोई चारा हमारे पास नहीं है। हमारे बहुत बड़े विधिवेत्ता और बड़े पुराने मित्र अभिषेक मनु सिंघवी ने कुछ विधिक व्यवहारिक दिक्कतें इस बारे में बताई। हालांकि उन्होंने भी इस बिल के पीछे छुपे भावना और राष्ट्रवाद की सराहना की है। मुझे नहीं पता, मैं उनकी तरह बड़ा विधिवेत्ता नहीं हूँ कि संवैधानिक रूप से इस बिल को किस तरह से नियोजित या कोई प्रारूप विधिक प्रारूप दिया जाए, लेकिन अगर ये संभव है तो निश्चित रूप से आम भारतीय की यह राय होगी, जैसा डॉक्टर सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी ने कहा है हमारे मित्र ने, कि इसको तत्काल प्रभाव से लागू किया जाए। क्योंकि अब मामला सिर्फ कश्मीर का नहीं है, मामला सिर्फ संसद पर हमले का नहीं है, अब हमारे गृह जनपद की राजधानी में भी आतंकवाद के बम के मसाले फट रहे हैं और हमारे देश का कोई भी स्थान सुरक्षित नहीं रह पाएगा अगर हम लोग इस पर कोई कड़ा प्रावधान नहीं लाएंगे। क्योंकि आतंकवाद का कोई चेहरा नहीं है, ये सुप्ता अवस्था में है। पता नहीं सामने कौन सा व्यक्ति जो सफेद पोस्ट दिखाई दे रहा है उसके अंदर कौन सा आतंक पल रहा है, बढ़ रहा है, और जब तक हम इस पर अंकुश नहीं लगाएंगे, कोई कड़ा प्रावधान नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि जो हमारे नजर में आतंकवाद है पाकिस्तान की मिलिट्री रिजिम के लिए वो राष्ट्रवाद है। तो इसलिए हमको उनके कथित राष्ट्रवाद से लड़ने के लिए उसे आतंकवादी देश घोषित कर उनके ईंट का जवाब पत्थर से देना पड़ेगा। ये आम भारत के नागरिक के राष्ट्रवाद की आज भावना है, और ये भावना कुछ इस तरह से है कि दिल की बात कहे दिल वाला, सीधी सी बात न मिर्च मसाला, कह के रहेगा कहने वाला और नहीं सुन के दे सुनने वाला, तो कोई बात नहीं। इसलिए इस बिल का समर्थन करते हुए एक बार फिर राजीव चंद्रशेखर जी को बधाई और उनकी सराहना करते हुए और विधिवेत्ता हमारे मित्र अभिषेक मनु सिंघवी की विधिक दिक्कतों को, व्यवहारिक दिक्कतों का समन्वय करते हुए इस बिल को एक रूप दिया जा सके, ऐसी कामना के साथ आपको धन्यवाद देते हुए मैं अपने स्थान पर।
ओके, धन्यवाद धन्यवाद। नाउ ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर टू रिप्लाई।
माननीय उपसभापति जी, जो यहाँ पर सम्माननीय सदस्य श्री राजीव चंद्रशेखर जी ने जो गैर सरकारी विधेयक जो लाया है, इस पर काफ़ी हमारे सम्मानित सदस्यों ने अपने विचार रखे हैं और इन सारे सम्मानित सदस्यों के भावनाओं को हमने सभी ने सुना है। सम्माननीय राजीव चंद्रशेखर जी के बाद में श्री आनंद भास्कर जी, डॉक्टर KTS तुलसी जी, सम्माननीय श्री जावेद अली खान जी, श्री विजय साई जी, अभिषेक मनु जी और श्री स्वामी सुब्रमण्यम जी, सम्मान्य श्री महेश पोद्दार जी, और अभी जिन्होंने अपने विचार रखे ऐसे हमारे अमर सिंह जी, मैं सपन राज गुप्ता जी, मैं सभी के विचार हम सभी ने सुने, मैं सभी के विचारों का सम्मान करता हूं। लेकिन जो विधेयक यहाँ आया है, विधेयक के बारे में सभी ने श्री राजीव चंद्रशेखर जी के विचारों को और उनकी जो धारणा है इसका सम्मान भी किया है। लेकिन मैं भी आपके इन विचारों के साथ में, सम्मान के साथ में, मैं हमारी सरकार की ओर से कहूँगा, हम सब जानते हैं कि भारत बहुत लंबे अरसे से सीमा पार से जो पाकिस्तान के द्वारा जो आतंकवाद फैलाया जाता है देश में, और इसका हम कई वर्षों से सामना करते आ रहे हैं। केंद्र तथा राज्य सरकारों के निरंतर प्रयासों के कारण इस चुनौती का हम सामना करने में कई बार सफल हुए हैं। भारत सरकार द्वारा सभी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मंचों पर आतंकवाद के सभी प्रारूपों को व प्रकारों की निंदा की जाती है तथा देश के भीतर इस चुनौती को सामना करने के लिए सरकार द्वारा विभिन्न उपाय किए गए तथा लगातार किए जा रहे सरकार द्वारा द्विपक्षीय व बहुपक्षीय मंचों पर पाकिस्तान द्वारा आतंकवादी संगठनों के समर्थन दिए जाने के विषयों को उठाया जाता है। तथापि मैं आपके माध्यम से यह भी बताना चाहूँगा कि किसी देश को आतंकवाद के प्रायोजक देश के रूप में घोषित किए जाने की दूरगामी परिणाम हो सकते हैं। जहाँ तक आतंकवाद के प्रायोजक देश के नागरिकों पर प्रतिबंध लगाने का संबंध है, विभिन्न अधिनियमों के अंतर्गत ऐसे प्रावधान विद्यमान हैं, जैसे लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट एजेंसीज लागू कर सकते हैं। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय वित्तीय संस्थान के आतंकवाद के प्रायोजक के देश को वित्तीय सहायता दिए जाने के विभिन्न आयामों के अवगत है तथा FATC के ने आतंकवादियों के वित्त पोषण को रोकने के लिए विभिन्न प्रावधान किए हैं। एक देश के पूर्णतः आतंकवाद का प्रायोजक देश घोषित करने के राजनयिक सहित दूरगामी व बहुआयामी परिणाम हो सकते हैं। किसी देश की किसी भी तरह का निर्णय लिए जाने के पूर्व इसका अध्ययन किए जाने, उन्हें समझने और उसके लिए तैयारी भी किए जाने की आवश्यकता है। अंततः विधेयक का समर्थन नहीं किया जा सकता। मैं आपके माध्यम से सम्मानीय श्री राजीव चंद्रशेखर जी से विनती करता हूं कि विधेयक को वापस लेने के लिए हम आपसे अनुरोध करते हैं।
Thank you. Would you like to reply or say something? Chandrasekhar, Rajiv Chandrasekhar.
So, thank you, sir. Let me start by thanking all my colleagues, sir, who participated in this debate, and I am grateful to them for their support through the course of the passage of this private bill for the last many months. Sir, let me just start by saying, I think the objective of this bill, and as I said it very early on, was to start a debate in this House, because since 1994, this House has said very little about Pakistan's role in sponsoring terrorism and Pakistan's role in the claiming of thousands and countless of lives, innocent lives in India. And so, sir, I would like to just put in front of my friends, I would like to place 4 quotes. One is what Sushma ji said in the 71st Union General Assembly in September 2016, and I quote, "We must acknowledge that terrorism is undoubtedly the biggest violation of human rights. It targets the innocent and kills indiscriminately. Terrorism has gone way beyond affecting individuals or nation. It is a crime against humanity itself. And it is important to ask, who's behind this and who benefits from this? Terrorists do not own banks or weapons factories, so let us ask the real question, who finances these terrorists, who arms them and provides sanctuaries?" I am putting this quote out there for us to just ponder, sir, because this is the thought that is also crossing. These are the questions that are being put by every man and woman in this country, sir, as they hear about terror acts regularly, sir. So let me just put another quote to you. This is the former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi talking about the context in which India has never been the aggressor. And she said, sir, in 1971, and I quote, "India always tries to be on the side of peace and negotiations and so on. But of course, we can't endanger our security in any way. We have never ever attacked anybody, but we have been attacked many times." End quote. Sir, in February 2000, the then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji did not mince words when he said, and I quote again, "Pakistan is sponsoring cross-border terrorism as it has its internal compulsions. Pakistan has been smarting ever since its defeat in 1971 and the formation of Bangladesh, and now it has been humiliated in Kargil. Though the battle of Kargil is over, the war against terrorism will continue till Pakistan does not stop sponsoring terrorism. There can be no meaningful talks with Pakistan till it stops cross-border terrorism." End quote, sir. So the point here is, for 7 decades, our neighbor has managed to leverage the sponsorship of terror as an instrument of statecraft. This is the fact. This has been going on for 70 years, sir. And sir, I think, like my colleague Maheshji said, it is now time for us as a nation and a people and as parliament to say enough is enough. I think some of our members were talking about various points, sir, including the fact there was a question raised about whether there is any utility of this bill. So there is a utility of this bill, and the utility is very simple. Since 1994, the parliament has not spoken about this issue. And I think for the parliament to speak about the fact that Pakistan is a state sponsor of terrorism is in itself a big thing. It may not translate into the necessary executive actions immediately on passing of the bill or on the discussion of the bill, but the fact is that the Parliament of India and indeed the Rajya Sabha has not spoken on this issue since 1994. So just by speaking, sir, we are sending a message. So, sir, I don't want to go on to extraordinary lengths to reinforce and re-emphasize the need for such a debate and need for such a bill, but I want to clearly address some of the doubts that have been raised by my members, because these are doubts that exist today even among some pockets in India. And so if you give me some time, sir, I would like to say this. One of the points that, for example, KTS Tulsi ji has said is the executive has power, so why should the parliament do anything about it? But that is precisely why this bill is necessary. That is precisely why this debate is necessary. Because over the last 7 decades, successive executives have abrogated their responsibility in declaring and calling out Pakistan for being a state sponsor of terrorism. So if the executive does not want to do it, that the parliament can't just sit around and say, we will just stand by, sit silently and have the executive decide what the people of India want. So sir, there is a utility, and this parliament has a role to talk about Pakistan's role in terrorism, regardless of what the executive does or does not do. And so that argument, sir, that the executive has the power and so the parliament should sit on its seats and do nothing, I think is a moot point, sir. There is another point raised again by a colleague saying, we need action, we don't need bills. But sir, that is precisely what this bill is supposed to not allow the discourse to drift into. Today, sir, when there is a terror act, we are left with two options. One is you take a candle and do a candlelight vigil and say Aman ki Asha, or we say surgical strike or a military action. So the whole contention of this bill is to argue that we have a broad space between doing nothing and doing military options. And that is precisely what this bill is about. This bill is about exploring the middle ground of options that have to do with economy, trade, and other forms of sanction and other forms of pressure on Pakistan that go beyond doing nothing and doing only military action. So there was another point raised about dragging, we must also declare Cuba and Israel. Now the point, sir, is we can only as parliament talk about who impacts us, who harms us. Cuba and Israel don't harm us. If some other country is affected by Cuba, if some other people are affected by Israel, they will in their parliament, in their legislature declare them a terrorist state. This is India. We represent the people of India, and the clear and present danger to the people of India is Pakistan, sir. So therefore, the argument that we should drag in, sir, let me finish, sir. I want to finish all the points, sir. Give me 3 more points.
No, not much time.
Yeah.
You all see the...
Fine, sir. Let me finish.
Reply us also.
Yes, sir. No, there are points raised, so it's my obligation to reply to it, sir. So,
be brief. Reply in brief.
Yes, sir.
Reply in brief.
No, let me, sir, you are now disturbing my train of thought. The other point that was raised was that we should work with other countries. Now, this is again a bit farcical, sir, because if we are the victims of terrorism, we have to take the first move on this issue rather than rely on other countries to work with us to declare our enemy a terrorist state. The last two points, sir, before I wrap up. This, my colleague Manu Singhvi said this thing about graded response, and there I agree with my friend. I think the time for graded response is over. There is no need for us to investigate whether Pakistan is a terrorist state. We already know it's a terrorist state, and now it's a question of debating options. So I will just end by also again just repeating what my colleague Dr. Swamy said. Just yesterday, sir, the US Congressman Ted Poe, the chairman of the House Subcommittee on Terrorism, has introduced HR 1449, the Pakistan State Sponsor of Terrorism Act 2017. And he quotes, sir, during the introduction, and I quote, "Not only is Pakistan an untrustworthy ally, Islamabad has also aided and abetted enemies of the United States for years. From harboring Osama bin Laden to its cozy relationship with the Haqqani network, there is more than enough evidence to determine whose side Pakistan is on in the war of terror. It is not America's, it is not the world's. It is the time we stop paying Pakistan for its betrayal and designate it for what it is, a state sponsor of terrorism, sir." End quote. Sir, I will end by requesting the government, sir, that the status quo not continue, that the government explore options that go beyond just candle raising or military options and explore a whole plethora of options that lie in the economic and the trade area, and so that we can approach the issue of Pakistan and the relationship with Pakistan afresh. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. So now, therefore, are you withdrawing the bill? So you say that? You are withdrawing the bill. So I hope the House agree for the withdrawal of the bill. Yeah. Yes. With the consent of the House, the bill is withdrawn. Okay. Now I'll take up. Next bill is Dr. Sanjay Singh, absent. Sri Ahmed Patel, absent. Ramesh is not doing homework. Srimati Renuka Chaudhary, absent. Sri Prabhat Jha, absent. Absent. Dr. Subramanian Reddy is present. But then, one second, Subramanian Reddy ji, it is also, you can see the post PS, subject to receiving the President's recommendation under Article 1173 of the Constitution. So, President recommendation mila ya nahi mila? What is Secretariat inform me? Eh? What is the position? Eh? So Secretariat reports that the President's recommendation is not received. That means you can, no, they have put it perhaps on the presumption that President's recommendation may
come today.
So that you can, so that your bill will not lapse, I think.
But we can get ratification after today's match.
No, the point is, next day when bill will be taken, it will be there. By that time, you also ensure that the President recommendation comes.
In such case, will I get the chance or other people who are absent?
You will get the chance. Eh?
Who are absent, they have a chance, or what is the rule, sir? See, others are absent, now I am eligible in the row.
Absent means they will go to the last.
They will go last?
They will go to the last.
Okay. So I will be number one.
Yeah. Your priority will be there, they will lose the priority.
So shall I say now, this bill will be taken up next time?
I told you.
After getting consent.
I told you that those who are absent, their bill will lose the priority. And so next day when bill will be taken, yours will be taken on priority. So provided the President recommendation is received.
I will appeal the President to give the consent.
Yeah. Okay. Now, therefore, the next item is, yes, there is, it is only,
क्योंकि अभी जो है सर, ऑनरेबल मेंबर्स जो है उसमें जिनका लिस्टेड था वो प्रेजेंट नहीं है, और अभी जो है इसमें लिस्टेड है एनिमी प्रॉपर्टी का, तो आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि इसको जो है वो ले लिया जाए.
Yeah, only thing is the House should agree because it is private members' time up to 5 p.m. But all private members' business is disposed of, and therefore the next item in the list of business can be taken up. I hope the House agree. Yes, House agree. Why? Why?
Sir, of the members have left.
That is not my job.
All of the political parties.
No, but this is in the list. So, this is in the list of business.
Sir, normally.
What do I do?
No, sir.
This is in the list of business. No.
Sir, this bill is an important bill.
Maybe, but this is in the list of business.
Sir,
what do I do?
This bill is an important bill.
Very important.
It's an important bill.
Very important.
It's a controversial bill.
Yes.
It should not be passed through this manipulation and subterfuge.
It is no manipulation.
No, sir. No.
Sir, select committee is already given the report. and select committee of
Certainly
this
not.
house.
Yeah,
And
no,
select
see.
committee is given a unanimous report.
No, sir. Jairamji, there is no manipulation. It is listed in the list of business. Everybody knows it. So what can I do? If it is in the list of business, I have to take it up. Yeah. What else? What else is the meaning? What else is the meaning? No, you have I appreciate and agree with Jairam Ramesh. It is a very important bill. But it is for you to take care of. Chair cannot, chair.
Sir, it's also a controversial bill. It's an important bill.
So what do I do?
Controversial bill.
What do
And
I do?
It's a bill that is coming through subterfuge. No, sir.
Every bill is
No.
important.
Every-
bill
yeah.
is important. And honorable member, Mr. Jairam Ramesh ji, every bill is important. And this bill is also important.
Now,
And
see,
the select
Jairam
committee
Ramesh,
house
tell me.
is
No,
already
I'll call
recommended.
you also.
And
Jairam
given the
Ramesh,
report. And
Jairam
Subramanian
Ramesh,
Reddy ji is
I will call
sitting
you.
here. Subramanian Reddy
No,
ji is-
Jairam Ramesh, tell me, if the bill is listed in the business and if there is time, what the chair should do? Chair has to take it up. If you want to dispose of the bill, dispose. If you want to reject the bill, you reject. But chair cannot say, I will not take it up. I have to do my work. Yes, yes.
Sir, so far the position of the chair is concerned, there cannot be any dispute whatever
Yeah.
you have stated. But the only thing, sir, that the leader of the opposition is absent, chief whip, deputy.
What can I do?
No, I am coming to that. All major political parties or all political parties excepting the ruling party, the leaders are absent, deputy leaders are absent, chief whips are absent. Then who will speak on behalf of different political parties? Possibly, that is yet to be decided. I appreciate that it is in the list.
Is it
and
my
time is left. But I would appeal to the government. I would appeal to the ruling party.
It's what the government can decide. I have no
would appeal
problem.
to them that only because only half an hour or 1 hour time is left, we can adjourn the house till next Tuesday when this will be taken up. It is not that the bill will be taken, it will not be taken up or it will not be discussed. It will be taken up, it will be discussed. Only thing, this problem is that everybody thought that today it is a private member's bill, so many business, so many bills are there in the private member bills, so this matter will not be taken up. That is the position. That is why I am requesting the government through you, sir, let them consider that the matter be taken up on Tuesday. That is my appeal to the government.
You
Thank
see,
sir.
the point is, when I was in the Lok Sabha, usually in the question hour, 4 or 5 questions will come. 4 or 5 questions will be taken up. One day it so happened many members were absent. The last 20th question came and the minister was not there. Then the reply was that, how do I know that all these 20 will come? But it is not the fault of the chair. It so happened. So members, if the members are not there, what can I do? No, if the government says, okay, because it is listed in the list of business, so I have to take it up. If anything else is to be, let the government speak. What is the government's view? Government can react to what they are saying.
As far as this bill is concerned, this bill is already listed, number one. This bill is already listed. And the select committee of this house is already recommended on this bill, and every member of the and every representative of the every political party is in select committee. तो then discussion शुरू करेंगे इसको. Discussion शुरू करने के बाद इसमें जो decision होना है उस house को करना है sir.
Sukandar ji, you know now listen to me. I will tell you, that's a different thing. Quorum I will count. See, Sukandar ji, Jairam ji, see, no, I have to sit down. I will allow you. The point you are saying, I can understand that many of the leaders, many of those who want, they are not here. But it is not the concern of the chair. You should know that. The chair has to go as per the list of business. And if the entire house agree, once it is listed in the business, if the whole house says that it should not be taken, I can go by that. Here the whole house do not say. See, the treasury bench says the bill should be taken up. And my duty is to take up the bill. You can call other members and bring them. That is the only way. Only way. Otherwise, leader of the house has to say anything in this. Who is the minister?
Stand up.
Yeah, please.
You through you to the leader of the house, please postpone this. Take it on Monday or Tuesday. I request the leader of the house, there is no people here. I have given some names, those people have left.
Okay.
I request the leader of the house, please postpone this.
Sir, we should not be wasting the wasting the time of the house.
Okay, we'll,
Sir,
yeah.
Sir, this bill is important. This bill is controversial. It has gone to a select committee. It has given a report. Members of all political parties are present in that committee. But unfortunately today, for a variety of reasons, almost the entire opposition benches are empty.
No, whose fault it is?
Sir,
Whose fault it is?
let me finish.
They are expected to be
Sir,
here.
let me finish. I am not objecting to the bill being taken up. I am just saying don't take it up today. Take it up when members are present and have it passed. That's all I am requesting. I'm not saying don't take it up.
Sir,
And sir, I am apologizing on behalf of everybody who should be present and they are not present.
Every honorable member knows that this originated as an ordinance. As far as an ordinance is concerned, there is a life of an ordinance, because after which the ordinance itself lapses. That date is also immediate. On the 14th, the ordinance will lapse. And therefore, this has to be decided one way or the other before that, so that the government knows whether it's a law or not a law.
Okay.
And then to say that people have voluntarily abstained themselves, so don't take it up. Even knowing fully well that there is an outer date by which an ordinance has to be approved or disapproved. The member who is seeking a disapproval of the proclamation is also present. Let him start on the disapproval.
No, in that case, see, those who think that those who do not agree with this, they can exercise their vote according to what else I can do, because the explanation is very valid. So we have to take it and decide either way. Therefore, I am taking up statute resolution to Subramanian Reddy to move. Subramanian Reddy. You want to move or not? If you don't want to move?
Of course. This House disapproves the Enemy Property Finance 5th Ordinance 2016 promulgated by the President of India on 22nd December. Sir, I have moved the statute resolution disapproving the ordinance and a matter of parliamentary principle. Actually, the Enemy Properties Amendment Validation 4th Ordinance 2016 was promulgated by Honorable President on 28th August 2016. But I am not able to understand the purpose of this ordinance. This is the 4th ordinance that was issued in the year 2016. Record break through the President on the same bill, despite knowing that the bill was under...
That's enough, you moved, that's enough.
No.
Now we will take it.
I want to speak, sir.
Okay.
I have a right to speak.
No, I thought, okay, then you speak now. Okay, all right.
The bill was under consideration of the Select Committee of Rajya Sabha, and the committee has since been reported back to Rajya Sabha and gives its report. It's a well-established constitutional position that the ordinance legislation under Article 123 can be promulgated only in extraordinary circumstances. In fact, President of India has reminded to the government several times that ordinance shall be promulgated only in extraordinary and compelling circumstances. I want to know from the government side, what are the compelling circumstances? What made you to go so many times to the President of India? There should be a very valid and also the convincing explanation I expect from the government of India, sir. I do accept that in order to meet some extraordinary, urgent, emergent situations, we have to opt for ordinance route of legislation. But I would like to know whether any exigency or contingency is existing in this bill. I don't find that much importance. The bill seeks an amendment Property Act of 1968 and also another act, Public Premises Eviction of Unauthorized Occupation Act 1971. The government of India has designated some properties belonging to nations of China and Pakistan. What is the urgency of this exigency? Is there any urgency of our situation necessitating the promulgation of ordinance? The government, the Honorable Home Minister also has to explain and clarify the position before the House. The Honorable Minister has given a statement stating reasons for issuance of ordinance. That is because of, they say, judgment by the courts. They say judgment by the courts very early. We are opposing the ordinance route legislation. So I actually say, ordinance is like a Brahmastra for always. Very, very serious matter, very important only. the ordinance is important, sir. So here I want a convincing and actually convincing explanation from the Government of India about that what made you to go at that to so many times what is necessity. So the President of India last time also had stated that same thing, that the Parliament should be respected and Parliament is the sanction of democracy. Therefore, on this principle, I am opposing this ordinance.
To move the bill. Honorable Minister, to move the bill. To move the bill.
I move. मान्य उपसभापति जी, मैं शत्रु संपत्ति अधिनियम 1968 और सरकारी स्थान अधिनियम 1971 और संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक पर लोकसभा द्वारा पारित रूप में और राज्यसभा की प्रवर समिति द्वारा प्रतिवेदित रूप में विचार किए जाने के प्रस्ताव करता हूं।
Moved, sir. Moved.
Now, Sri, you are moved.
Yes.
And spoken also. Okay. Now, no, one name is Sri Javed Ali Khan. No. You are not speaking. Okay, then who will speak? Yes. Then Sugandhar will go and speak. Yes. No, because there is no speaker here.
2 hours is allotted. Now we must take names from everybody who is speaking, sir. We can't just accept this bill.
कब कर रहे हैं?
You want to speak? Yes.
Just opposing the motion which Mr. Subiram Reddy has given and in support of the bill that the Honorable Minister has moved. Let me just explain the rationale as to what is the urgency and what is the rationale behind this bill. And I'm sure after hearing me, those who are been conventionally having an alternative view will also consider whether this view requires to be revised itself. First of all, what is the rationale and object behind having a law by which an enemy property is lost? Who is an enemy? An enemy is either a country or a citizen of a country against whom India goes to war with. And therefore, in the context of this legislation, we had a war in 1962 with China, we had a war in 1965 with Pakistan. When the war takes place, and many countries which go through that war process have this legislation, Pakistan also has a similar legislation. The object is that the enemy must not hold property in my territory. You never enrich the enemy. You always weaken the enemy when you are at war with the enemy. And therefore, any commercial interest of the enemy has to be weakened. जो दुश्मन देश है उसकी सहायता नहीं होती युद्ध के दौरान. And that is why in 1962 when the war took place, the Defence of India Act was in operation. In 1965 the Defence of India Act was in operation. During those acts, the property which is vested either in the enemy or in a citizen of an enemy, by virtue of Defence of India Act and orders passed therein, transiently gets vested in the government of, it gets vested in the custodian, which gets vested in the government of India. And this took place when the Congress government was in power, and rightly so. But since this was temporary, what happens to the future of those properties? After the war was over, that vesting has taken place in the custodian, what happens to those properties? So in 1968, this main principal act was brought in by Mrs. Gandhi, and a well thought of act. And the act was that those who were at the time of declaration of the war either an enemy state or a citizen of an enemy state, his property now in perpetuity will belong to the government of India. It will be vested in the government itself. That was this law. And that is the principal law which has held the test of time, which continues till today. Therefore, any person who is any state of the government of China, or a citizen of China, or a government of Pakistan, or a citizen of Pakistan, could not after that hold property in India, because under the enemy property regulation, that was this Act of 1968, that property will be vested in the government of India. This was the law. That law continued all these whiles. Now, one solitary case came up, and the background of that solitary case must be known. The British government in the 19th century had given a grant in favor of some of the Indian rulers. And in this case, the grant was in favor of the ruler of the state of Mahmudabad, a state near Awadh, Lucknow. A large amount of land and property in Lucknow city in the adjacent district of Sitapur was owned by them. Now, this entire property which was owned by them vested in the Raja of Mahmudabad. In 1940, when the Pakistan resolution was passed by the Muslim League, the Raja of Mahmudabad decided to throw his weight behind the Pakistan resolution. And he became one of the most ardent supporters of then the person who had created the state of Pakistan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. In fact, he became a powerful force behind him. History books are now full of evidence of how he went all around the country, that our dream of creating an Islamic state of Pakistan has been made out. And he would refer to the Mahatma and the Congress that they can't fulfill this dream because they represent the Congress and Mahatma represent Hindu nationalism. That was his case. I have voluminous evidence of what the Raja used to say. So once India was partitioned, the Raja decided to leave his properties behind and move out of India. He moved out of India and for some reason went and settled in the first instance in Iran. And thereafter, when Pakistan settled down in 1957, he came to Pakistan, accepted the citizenship of Pakistan, became a Pakistani national, and on behalf of that country, went and established the Islamic Center in London and lived there. But these properties continued to be in his name. He was a citizen of Pakistan living in London. In 1965, by virtue of the Defence of India rules, the properties vested in the government of India. And by virtue of the 1968 law, they also vested in the government of India, the custodian. In 1973, the Raja died. So in 73, when he died, he had lost title of these properties in 1965 because of the law which existed during Mrs. Gandhi's government and 1968 during Mrs. Gandhi's government. So he had ceased to be the owner of these properties in 65. In 73, he did not own these properties. Since he did not own these properties, nobody could have inherited these properties from him. But for one circumstance, that in between he had sent his wife and son to India and they acquired an Indian citizenship. And thereafter the son went to London to study and then came back. When he came back, he subsequently contested elections, became a member of the Legislative Assembly of UP. He started agitating that these properties be given back to me. Now, obviously, he could only get those properties and inherit those properties from his father, which his father owned in 1973. But the father had lost title of these properties by virtue of the legislation in 1965 and certainly in 1968. He could never get that title through his father in 1973. But for one, which in my respectful submission is a miscarriage of justice, the Supreme Court said, now that the son is a citizen of India, why should he be debarred? And therefore, thousands of crores of worth of properties be transferred to the son. Now these properties have tenants, the whole of Hazratganj, who have been occupying these properties since the 1920s and the 1930s. So the Supreme Court went ahead and said,
they lose their tenancy and all of them must now give vacant possession to this man. The case went on. Now this was obviously erroneous because when a citizen of an enemy state loses property in 1965, how could in 1973 his son inherit the property through him? And at that time we had a home minister of the country, an eminent lawyer himself, Mr. Chidambaram, who exactly accepted the argument that I am giving, that in 1973 the Raja's son could not have inherited the properties which the Raja had lost in 1965. So he brought about a clarificatory ordinance. Mr. Chidambaram's ordinance as Home Minister was the correct ordinance. That in 73 he could not get it. Now if there was some internal problem in the then government and an ordinance brought in for a correct purpose was allowed to lapse, and then a second effort was made to bring in a law which did not succeed, that all right, the Raja may have lost the property, but let us give it to his son. Now if this principle is accepted, what will happen? That tomorrow any person who is now a citizen of Pakistan has only to send one family member to India to say, I am now a citizen of India, and acquire properties here and give my properties back. Now families like mine, which have migrated from Pakistan in 1947, is there a reciprocal obligation in Pakistan for this to happen? The obvious answer is no. All properties left behind by those who are now Indian citizens under a similar provision were not only acquired by Pakistan but were auctioned and sold. So what the present government has done is to bring about a law which says that once the original citizen of Pakistan's properties were acquired by the government of India and they vested in the government of India, after 1965, when it became an enemy state, the successor state cannot, his successor cannot get that property. The bill has been cleared by the Lok Sabha. Some amendments have been suggested by the Select Committee, which the Honorable Minister has accepted. And the note of dissent says, no, the Succession Act should prevail over this law. But the Succession Act will come into operation only in 1973. But in 1973, the Raja didn't have the properties because the properties were lost in 1965. And therefore, if this principle is accepted, it will open the floodgates of citizens of what is in law regarded as an enemy to come and say, one member of my family has come to India and therefore all the properties will be vested in him. Sir, this is, with utmost respect, whatever political signals people want to send, this is a security issue. It's an issue of principle. The rationale behind the principal legislation of 1968 is that you don't allow property or commercial interest of the enemy in India. And an enemy is a person with whom India has gone on to war, and on the date of the war, if he was a citizen of an enemy, he loses his property. By this, forever. Forever. This is the law all over the world. So let us not create only for vote bank politics an exception where enemies by this process, enemies in law, can then get to acquire properties in India. And therefore the urgency is, if this ordinance is allowed to lapse, the effect is going to be, and that's why I oppose the motion of Mr. Subiram Reddy, the property goes back to a person and therefore indirectly through a citizen of Pakistan gets back to somebody who's not entitled to have these properties. And therefore this principle, it has surfaced in the context of one case, and therefore I have given the example of that case. That's the background, we can't ignore it. But it's the larger principle is any country with which India has gone to war, its citizens cannot have property in India. That's the principle. Now, if this House wants to negate that principle, let the House say no. And therefore, this bill has its urgency and therefore should be cleared.
Okay, thank you, Sri. Javed Ali Khan. Javed Ali Khan. Javed Ali Khan, are you speaking? No. No, his name is there. No.
It was not my intention. It was not my intention to negate the principles on which this bill is being founded. By all means, pass this bill. I was not questioning the basic principle that he was enunciating, that an enemy should not have property in this country. All I am saying is, today for some reason, there is no conspiracy, for some reason, the opposition benches are totally empty.
Okay.
And it's not your fault.
So Javed Ali Khan.
It's not your fault.
All right.
It just so happens
Javed Ali
that
Khan.
everybody is absent, and I know
Sir, Javed Ali
this
Khan
bill
is
has
speaking.
exercised many
just a
people. My only request
Okay.
to have this discussion on the next
Sri Javed Ali Khan.
Sir, I am not speaking, just I am making a point.
Yeah, please.
Just.
Please.
with what the honorable leader of the house
Okay,
has
okay.
said. And I'm very sad that he's including
Javed Ali Khan.
to
Yeah.
what I am trying to do. I have absolutely no doubt in my
Okay, agreed. Javed Ali Khan, you say? Yeah, yeah. Sri,
all I am saying is that all the
you made your points. You made your point. Sri Javed Ali Khan.
Sir, just I want to make a point.
Yeah.
जब ये विधेयक सदन में लाया गया था, तो इसे सदन की सिलेक्ट कमेटी के लिए प्रेषित कर दिया गया था। इस पर बहुत लंबी बहस चली थी कमेटी के अंदर और अनेक प्रकार के विचार और सुझाव आए थे और कुछ सदस्यों ने उस पर नोट ऑफ डिसेंट भी दिया था। यह हमारी बदकिस्मती है कि आज सदन के अंदर हाजिरी कम है। जो तथ्य या जो बात माननीय नेता सदन ने कही है, उन सब से मैं इत्तेफाक कर सकता हूं। फौरी तौर पर बहस की प्रक्रिया में उनका खंडन भी किया जा सकता है और जिस तरीके से उन्होंने तर्क पेश किए हैं, उससे असहमति भी व्यक्त की जा सकती है। लेकिन मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि ये बिल चूंकि विवादित बिल रहा है, इसलिए सिलेक्ट कमेटी को भेजा गया था। ये बिल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंस का बिल है, सिर्फ राजा महमूदाबाद का सवाल नहीं है। ये बिल एक खास किस्म का संदेश इस देश के एक खास वर्ग के लोगों के बारे में भी देता है। इसलिए मैं चाहता हूं कि जब सदन में उपस्थिति हो, कृपया मेरी बात को अन्यथा न लेते हुए, जब उपस्थिति हो, जब सदन के सभी जिम्मेदार नेता, हालांकि सभी जिम्मेदार हैं, वो मौजूद हों। अब बहस पर बताइए कौन बोलेगा? कांग्रेस की तरफ से आपके पास कोई नाम नहीं है, सीधे मेरा नाम आ रहा है। बीजेपी की तरफ से बहुत सारे नाम नहीं दिए गए हैं, दूसरे और दल हैं उनकी तो कोई एक कंसेंसस बने और जल्दबाजी। ठीक है, आप 4 बार अध्यादेश ला चुके हैं, 5वीं बार भी अध्यादेश ले आइए, अगली बार डिस्कस कर लेंगे। इतनी कोई अर्जेंसी नहीं है इसकी, इसलिए आज मैं नहीं बोलूंगा।
Sir, I don't know how much time is allotted to me.
No, you can speak.
Because it's
Take
already...
how much time you want?
No, I will speak for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
Because this bill,
No.
this bill, so far...
You can speak 5 minutes or little more.
So far, 5 minutes में कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. Sir, so far I understand that this bill has been introduced by the government following the Supreme Court judgment in that particular case, the Honorable Leader of the House has mentioned. But जैसे कि जावेद भाई ने बताया, ये सिर्फ एक particular case की संदर्भ में ये बिल को सोचना नहीं चाहिए, इसके और भी असर पड़ता है दूसरी जगह पर। जैसे कि ये जो vesting of property का बात कहा गया, the 1968 Act allowed for vesting of enemy properties with the custodian after the conflicts with Pakistan and China, rightly pointed out by the Honorable Leader of the House. After 1965 war, Defense of India Act, the provisions, all right. But this bill seeks to amend the Act to clarify that even in the following cases, these properties will continue to vest with the custodian. Number one, the enemy's death, all right. But number two is, if the legal heir is an Indian, here we have certain objections. Because if the legal heir is an Indian, then this bill is depriving property to Indian citizen. If there is no title, after 1965, if there is no title, then nothing is inherited by the Indian citizen. Then there is no question of putting this clause in this definition. On the one hand, government is telling that after 1965, there is no title to the property by the enemy, and now in the bill it seeks to amend that if the legal heir is an Indian, then also he is not entitled to the title of the property. If there is no title, then how comes this? So this is contradictory in my point of view. This is contradictory. Absolutely contradictory, and this should be removed. Secondly, sir, the enemy changes his nationality to that another country. So, Honorable Leader of the House has mentioned about going from Pakistan to London, etc. All right, we can understand in that particular case. But, sir, the question is there are so many things which have not been brought in this bill. After partition, when the Punjab and Bengal was partitioned, it was not partition of India. It was a partition of few districts of Punjab and it was few districts of Bengal only. And when millions of evacuees came from other part of Punjab and other part of Bengal, that is East Pakistan and West Punjab, how much compensation have been given by this government of India to the evacuees? Nothing has been said in this provision that after selling the property, because the enabling provision has been made, that the custodian can sell out the property, dispose of the property, is all right. And after disposal, the sale proceeds, where it will go, how it will be utilized. Nothing has been stated in the bill. Whether out of the sale proceeds, the evacuees or their descendants, they will get compensation out of that sale proceeds or not. Nothing has been stated. After 1971, after the emergence of Bangladesh, the evacuees of the erstwhile East Pakistan got only ex gratia, not compensation, ex gratia from Government of India to the extent of 25% of their total claim. 75% of their total claim still remaining. And this bill has been brought on a piecemeal matter just to thwart the judgment delivered by the Honorable Supreme Court in a particular case. That is why I have objection on principle on this bill. Because if the government is serious, to bring to take into consideration all aspects relating to enemy property, then in my view, those things should also be addressed in a proper manner, and for which a comprehensive bill is required from the government, not in a piecemeal manner. Secondly, the way the bill has been introduced or taken up today, I cannot blame the chair because it is in the list of the business. But I have already stated, and Mr. Jairam Ramesh and other honorable members have also stated the practical difficulties. It is a serious bill which could not be discussed in a proper manner. We can understand the difficulties on the part of the government, the 14th March deadline. We can understand. So on 14th March itself, we could have discussed and passed this bill after a thorough, threadbare discussion. This is why, in protest against the indifferent attitude of the government not to respond to the request made by the opposition, I walk out, sir.
Now, Sri Rangarajan. I'll call you.
Sir,
Call you.
Jairam Ramesh and Sugendrao has placed the correct points. I also request the government once again through you, we will pass the bill after full discussion in the next working day. If the government is not agreeable to the proposal which we make very honestly, I am sorry, we can't support the bill and I am walking out from the house.
Okay, now Sri Rajiv A.B. Rapalu, after that Rajiv Shukla.
हाँ पहले मैं
okay, Rajiv Shukla.
जैसा कि जयराम रमेश जी ने सर कहा कि ये प्राइवेट मेंबर बिल का टाइम है, लोगों को इम्प्रेशन है कि 5 बजे तक प्राइवेट मेंबर बिल है, उसके बाद सारे मेंबर्स को अगर ये पता हो कि बिल आने वाला तो लोग आते हैं। प्राइवेट मेंबर्स बिल में ये इत्तेफाकन ये बिल आ गया है, बहुत गंभीर बिल है, इसमें बहुत से लोग जो है बेघर हो जाएंगे,
आज राजा महमूदा वाली बात जो कही है जेटली जी ने वो ठीक है, ऐसे तमाम मुद्दे हो सकते हैं, लेकिन इसमें बहुत लोग ऐसे हैं जिनके एक घर में 10-10 लोग रह रहे हैं, और ये सिलेक्ट कमेटी में ऑब्जेक्शन आया था, सिलेक्ट कमेटी में। इसलिए जो है मेरे ख्याल से नेक्स्ट वर्किंग डे पे इसको अगर आप ले लें तो बेहतर है। अगर ये नहीं है तो हम इसके पक्ष में नहीं, कैसे इस तरह किया जाए और हम लोग वॉकआउट करते हैं।
I just want to say that we want to pass this bill. We should pass this bill when all the members are present. If it can be done in the next working day, I think it should be done. But if the government is insisting that it should be passed today, taking advantage of the absence of the opposition, let us contribute to that absence. We are walking out, sir.
Sir, we are not taking any advantage. You are walking out.
Rapalu.
You are walking out.
Mr. You say your piece and then go. What you have to say, you say and go.
Sir, vote. चलिए, Sir Rajna ji.
Yeah.
Respected
What he has to say, let him say, then go.
First of all, there is no quorum, and this is about the defense of
There is
India
quorum.
and defense of the sovereignty of India and defense of the integrity of
Okay.
India, and that is by 1968 Indira Gandhi has brought in the Enemy Property Act, and in 1971 eviction of the unauthorized occupants from the public premises has been brought by Indira Gandhi ji, and that has been already looked at by the latest government, and there is select committee, and those observations full of the opposition is not available, and we are objecting, we are walking out.
Okay, that's fine.
No quorum.
No, there is quorum, isn't it? Yes, quorum is there. Quorum is there. You want to check up? Okay. Now, so Subramanian Reddy is not there. Therefore, resolution, statutory resolution is not there. So, but minister can reply after that.
At all to reply it, because already the leader of the house already has spoken on this issue.
So but you say the
I am moving.
Moving and the house may pass it.
Sir, I'm moving the bill.
Okay. Now I shall now put the resolution moved by Dr. Ritu Subramanian Reddy and Sri Hussain Dalwai to vote to the House. Those in favor, please say aye. Yeah. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. The resolution is negative. Now, question is that the Enemy Property Amendment and Validation Bill 2016 as passed by Lok Sabha are reported by the Select Committee of the Rajya Sabha be taken into consideration. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Motion is adopted. We shall now take up clause by clause consideration of the bill. Clause 2 stands part of the bill. There are two amendments, number 18, number 25, Subramanian Reddy and Hussain. They are not here to move the amendments. So amendments is as good as, it is not already moved, I believe. So it is not moved. I shall now put clause 2 to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, ayes have it. Clause 2 is adopted. Clause 3 stands part of the bill. There are two amendments, numbers 26 and 27 by Hussain Dalwai. He is not here and amendment is not moved. Therefore, I shall put clause 3 to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 3 is adopted. Clause 4 stands part of the bill. There is one amendment, number 28 by Sri Hussain Dalwai. Hussain Dalwai is absent and the amendment is not moved. Therefore, I shall put clause 4 to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 4 is adopted. Now, may please check up, Secretary. Yes, tell me if, please report me if there is quorum or not. Yes, please report. Please report if there is quorum. No, that is being examined. Eh? Yes. Yes. Quorum is there. No. Yeah, you also added to the quorum. Now, clause 5 stands part of the bill. There are 3 amendments.
For the chair. Person who raised the issue of quorum added to the quorum.
Added to the quorum, yes. Numbers 9, there are 3 amendments. Clause 5 stands part of the bill. There are 3 amendments. Numbers 19 and 20 by Dr. T. Subbaram Reddy. Number 29 by Sri Hussain Delwai. Both are absent and they are not moved already. Therefore, I shall now put the amendment moved by, amendment is not to be moved. Therefore, I shall now put clause 5 to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have. Clause 5 is adopted. Clause 6 stands part of the bill. There are 3 amendments. Number 30 by Sri Hussain Delwai. Number 3 and 4 by Sri Rajnath Singh. Now, Hussain Delwai is absent, so that is not moved. Now, what about Rajnath Singh? Are you moving amendment 3 and 4?
I move the amendment.
Yes. Amendment 3 and 4 moved by Rajnath Singh. I shall now put amendment moved by Sri Rajnath Singh to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have. The amendments are adopted. I shall now put clause 6 as amended to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have. Clause 6 as amended is adopted. Clause 7 stands part of the bill. There are 4 amendments. Numbers 21 and 22 by Dr. T. Subbaram Reddy. Numbers 31 and 32 by Sri Hussain Delwai. Both are absent. Therefore, the amendments are not moved. Therefore, I shall now put clause 7 to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 7 is adopted. Clause 8 stands part of the bill. There are 4 amendments. Numbers 33 and 34 by Sri Hussain Delwai. Numbers 5 and 6 by Sri Rajnath Singh. Now, Hussain Delwai absent. Therefore, amendment not moved. But Rajnath Singh ji, are you moving? Rajnath Singh ji, amendment number 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Numbers 5
yes,
and
I move them.
Yeah. Amendment moved by Sri Rajnath Singh. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have. The amendments are adopted. I shall now put clause 8 as amended to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have. Clause 8 as amended is adopted. Clause 9 stands part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have. Clause 9 is adopted. Clause 10 stands part of the bill. There is one amendment by T. Subbaram Reddy. He is absent, so amendment is not moved. I shall now put clause 10 to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have. Clause 10 is adopted. Clause 11 stands part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have. Clause 11 is adopted. Clause 12 stands part of the bill. There is one amendment, number 35 by Sri Hussain Delwai. He is absent, so amendment not moved. I shall now put clause 12 to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have, the ayes have, the ayes have. Clause 12 is adopted. Clause 13 stands part of the bill. There are 2 amendments by Dr. Subbaram Reddy and Sri Hussain Delwai. Both are absent, so amendment not moved. I shall now put clause 13 to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 13 is adopted. Clause 14 stands part of the bill. There are 2 amendments, Sri Hussain Delwai and Sri Rajnath Singh. Hussain Delwai is absent, so his amendment is not moved. Sri Rajnath Singh, number 7. Are you moving? Yes. Amendment. Rajnath Singh ji has moved the amendment. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Amendment is adopted. I shall now put clause 14 as amended to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 14 as amended is adopted. Clauses 15 and 16 stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clauses 15 and 16 are adopted. Clause 17 stand part of the bill. There are 6 amendments. Numbers 38 and 39 by Sri Hussain Delwai is absent, not moved. Numbers 8 to 11 by Sri Rajnath Singh.
Move the amendment.
Yes. Rajnath Singh has moved the amendment. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The amendments are adopted. I shall now put clause 17 as amended to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 17 as amended is adopted. Clause 18 stand part of the bill. There is one amendment by Sri Hussain Dalwai. He is absent, so not moved. I shall now put clause 18 to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 18 is adopted. Clause 19 stand part of the bill. There are 5 amendments, numbers 12 to 16 by Sri Rajnath Singh.
Yes, I move them.
The amendments moved. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Amendments are adopted. I shall now put clause 19 as amended to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 19 as amended is adopted. Clauses 20 and 21 stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clauses 20 and 21 are adopted. Clause 22 stand part of the bill. There is one amendment. Number 17 by Sri Rajnath Singh.
I move the bill.
Amendment moved. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Amendment is adopted. I shall now put clause 22 as amended to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 22 as amended is adopted. Clause 1 stand part of the bill. There is one amendment, number 2 by Sri Rajnath Singh.
I move the amendment.
Amendment moved. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. I shall now put clause 1 as amended to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 1 as amended is adopted. The enacting formula stands part of the bill. There is one amendment by Sri Rajnath Singh.
I move the amendment.
Amendment moved. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Amendment is adopted. I shall now put the enacting formula as amended to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The enacting formula as amended is adopted. The title stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The title is adopted. Now Sri Rajnath Singh to move that the bill as amended be passed.
Deputy Chairman, sir, I move the bill as amended be passed.
Motion moved that the bill as amended be passed. Question is that the bill as amended be passed. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The bill as amended is passed.
Message from Lok Sabha.
Message from Lok Sabha Secretary General.
I beg to report that the Lok Sabha at its sitting held on the 10th of March 2017 passed the Admiralty Jurisdiction and Settlement of Maritime Claims Bill 2017. I lay a copy of the bill on the table.
Okay. Special mention, Dr. V. Maitrian? No. Sri Derek O'Brien? No. Both are absent. Therefore, the House stands adjourned. The House 15?
14.
No.
14.
15th, yes.
14th is holiday.
Yeah.
That means that it is a 13th and 14th are holidays.
Yeah.
Therefore, the House stands adjourned to meet. I already said that 13th and 14th are holidays. I already said. That is the position. Accordingly, and therefore, House stands adjourned to meet at 11 a.m. on 15th Wednesday, March 2017.